This is episode 14. It is a Factorio Space Age Deathworld marathon playthrough. We are on Gleba with different music and these funky trees that I was trying to find. Last episode we did a whole bunch of stuff wrong. We are learning the game by playing the game. I guess this is also your spoiler warning. We're already in the Space Age stuff. We are no longer in Navas. But we are not doing spoilers for things we haven't seen yet. I was trying to do a bit of scouting to see if there were some other patches of trees that would be better for automating things back to the rocket silo, or at least the landing pad, than what we had over here. And over here we had a radar. The base is kind of out of power at the moment, just Gleba things. We don't actually want it to be running if there's nothing for it to do, because yeah, last time we made a bunch of agricultural science packs and they went off before we could do anything with them, which is fine. We're just figuring out how things work. But this looks like a very nice collection of a lot of Yamako trees. But then also the other thing I wanted to do over here was, explore this area a bit. Point out that it's a Deathworld marathon. I don't know if these guys over here, these little egg sac guys, I don't know if they know it's a Deathworld marathon. But there's some air grafts, there's some other air grafts, there's these big strider things, and these things will, attack us by orbiting us, and then throwing in these other little dudes who will, who are untargetable until they hit us, until they land on the ground. So this guy will also stay out of the range of the turrets, which is fun. Well, we should probably have our bots off if we're going to do this next bit. But we can still run up and figure out places that are in range of, these guys. And just do Deathworld marathon things. Welcome to Gleba. Can we taunt this guy into getting close enough? Yeah. Do you want to come over here? Okay, so we got it. It's a Deathworld marathon. That is how. Oh, did we wander into close enough to another egg sac? We did. Okay, so Deathworld marathon things. Yeah, I wanted the bots back on at this point, didn't I? Because we wanted to repair all these things. Get rid of all of these. Yeah, get all that stuff out. Because down here, one of the things that Gleba does that's weird is these guys drop egg sacs that we need to breed into other egg sacs that we then use for the agricultural science pack. I mean, we could use the ones we picked up for this as well, but we need kind of a lot of it because it's a marathon. Science isn't running at the moment because we're not doing purple or yellow science for an achievement. Same with the logistics, and then everything else is stuff we need to do a whole lot more work for. Okay, so all of these we've got all the stuff we need for all of these. The thing is, it's on different planets, so we have to solve that problem. And then also, I'm sure there was another one up here. Oh yeah, there it is. One of the things that we can do, which is pretty funny, is we can actually put landfill and then landmines around these nests. So landmines still pretty effective. Sucks to be those guys. Okay. Because the reason why I was doing this, did we get the eggs from that? We did. I wanted to test a thing. In particular, I wanted to see what happens if we put all of the pentapod eggs in a box and then destroy the box. And the answer is nothing. Okay, cool. I am thinking about ways to safely shut down the production without everything getting destroyed. Because, you can see this surprised us the first couple of times this happened as well. This was a fun thing. Spoil time, 15 minutes. Spoil result, monsters. They will come out, they will attack us. Also, if we do quality things to make the eggs better, to make the science better, we get stronger monsters coming out of it as well. So that's super cool. That's going to be a thing we have to deal with. Anyway, let's wander back to our facilities. Oh, you know what I should have done? I absolutely should have taken some of those tomatoes. Actually, does it matter? I guess if we're just moving this stuff down here, it kind of doesn't matter. But we can get all of this back online, even though it kind of doesn't matter. We have also, most of this is just processing stuff into spoilage, which actually really doesn't matter because we're not doing anything with it. All we're doing is I guess this is still the same power grid that's mining walls and landfill and stuff. But yeah, here's the recipe for the eggs. If all of this was running, which it's not, we'd be able to get science out of it. As it is, everything just produces spoilage. So we have to be careful. Yeah, there's a bunch of things of just kicking spoilage into the power grid because it is technically a fuel source. But I think instead of that, I noticed there was a recipe, I think it was in here? Yeah, we can turn spoilage into carbon, which is going to be a better fuel source for when we have more stuff to run here. Like at the moment, this bit of power grid is just disposing of all the spoilage. I think when we're actually doing power grids here, this carbon thing is going to be an issue. And then also there is, yeah, these need bioflux, which is also the product of all of this stuff, but not the eggs. Because there's a quirk here that we can get the bacteria out, which will turn into the ore, but we also need a minute's worth of delay because then it's the bacteria, it's not the ore. Yeah, but we've got this guy currently disabled via why you click on thing. I guess I need to be on map view by just checking for the wrong condition because we want these to be off. Because we need to... That's probably walls? It's walls. Yeah, we're not using anything here yet because we need to figure out some other stuff first. We need to figure out the aforementioned problem of the things we want to do being on different planets. And I think for those purposes... I was just wondering if I had some furnaces with which to get rid of all of this stuff. And then I guess I get some of the spoilage and we have dirty old... Yeah, there's not much fuel value in spoilage, but whatever. This is probably all going to burn itself out again, never mind. Yeah, I think because of all of that, Novus is pretty much fine. All of these lanes are backed up. The red chip buffer is backed up. The science is stopped because we've run out of science to do because we're skipping all of that. Yeah, all of these science belts are full. And so we've also got like a base. I think we might just be... I think the plan might be... what if we... Okay, don't do any of that. I wanted to queue that and then tried to drag the map and failed. What if some of the expensive-ish sciences were in fact in logistics chests and we could pull them into orbit and just bring them over here? Like, red and green science, pretty straightforward. Oh yeah, we didn't reorganize this, but it's fine. Yeah, we could just re-implement this in Gleba. And then also because these things have a spoil time, like we want to be processing things into agricultural science packs, but I think we also want to be doing the research here rather than trying to move them around because these will spoil, nothing else will. And then also, besides trying to figure out if there was another space, and I think these trees down here are looking a whole lot better, we might just move everything over here. I think the misplay... One of the big misplays from last time, besides nearly losing the ship, which we might talk about, is we were processing these on site so that we could take the seeds off and feed them back in. But the thing is, these fruit have a spoil time of an hour. I thought it was only 15 minutes or so. Okay, that's even more. We should do the thing I'm thinking about doing. But the mash only has a spoil time of 3 minutes. And so if it takes a minute... and it's not that long, but we're making a point. If it takes a minute for this stuff to get all the way on this belt and down here into where we're processing it, that's like a third of the entire spoilage of the Yamako. Whereas I think if we're going to need another whole belt going back the other way to... Oh yeah, and we've browned out so we can't see it anymore. I think we want to be doing... Like, this one is... This one is kind of okay, but I think we're moving this one as well, although these are probably still... the jellies have spoil time of an hour, the jellies themselves have a spoilage time of 4 minutes. So yeah, so if we were moving these things for 2 minutes, or if we were moving the jelly nuts for 2 minutes on a belt, that'll cost us 1/30th of the lifetime. And I think this, like when you feed in partly spoiled things, you seem to get back partly spoiled things, whereas that same 2 minutes in jelly form is half of the spoilage. And so I think that's going to be the first battle of getting stuff through. And then the nutrients were also... Nutrients were spoil time 5 minutes. So we want the nutrients pretty close to all of these things. What is the bioflux is a spoil time of 2 hours. Okay. So the jellies, the Yamako mash, the nutrients all want to be like processed centrally and not caching very many of them, and then everything else when it's in the other forms, the agricultural science pack, whole fruit, whole jellies, things like that. And then the eggs are the special case one that we don't want to deal with at all. So I'm kind of putting together a plan for... Okay, that's kind of the processing plan, but also we don't actually want agricultural science packs at the moment. The thing we want to make is a silo, because we are here. We would rather not necessarily be here, but either way, we've either got to get somewhere else or figure out how to get things here. We've got a landing pad. We could bring those things in. The silo is going to be necessary, but also we're looking at the silo to explain the next thing we're going to do, which is redesign one of the science packs, one of the space science platforms. So Grondolf is here. Grondolf doesn't even have the combinators like Becky does. Like Becky, we're going to do this with Becky because Becky is ahead of the pack a little bit. She is the platform that we first made the science with. We made everything else happen with it. It's fine. And we have since figured out, yeah, these combinators are checking how many of the asteroid parts we have and not collecting asteroids unless we need them, and then setting these filters. Like currently we have no filters set because there are no signals coming out. Maybe one of the confusing things that I didn't explain last time is all of these combinators are outputting onto the same signal, and so those 3 signals are kind of added together, and each machine sees all of them, but also we are filled up with things because everything's shut off because we filled up with science. So this combinator thing means that we could spread out these collectors a lot more and get better coverage. But the other thing we learned last episode when we nearly lost a ship is we get attacked, not necessarily attacked from different directions, but asteroids might arrive from different directions. And we need a lot of guns to travel, because space travel in Space Age is less about engines and trajectories and more about shooting all of the asteroids out the way. But we can also have on-site processing, and yeah, we started this with Red Belt. We have since... Is that me? Were they these guns? No, they were going to be... Yeah, they were going to be the guns that were actually, shooting up the asteroids. And so we have realized a couple of things about this. First of all, we need more guns across the front of a ship. Second of all, we need more guns across the side of the ship, because other asteroids might drift in. Third of all, we actually get enough iron out of shooting up asteroids to, first of all, manufacture a whole lot of ammunition, but then also... over here, we are requesting a whole lot of ammunition back, and that's actually how we got the ammo we are using at the moment. So we have a way to get ammunition, but this also means that what I want to do with Grondolf, because Grondolf has a whole lot of space. So first things, we don't need... Actually, that one might stay, but these 3 might not. We don't need nearly that much storage space. Second of all, we can spread all of these things out further around. Yeah, I guess we can have one over here. I guess all of these things are... Yeah, we're going to actually fully redesign this, aren't we? We can spread these things out a lot more to cover different areas. And then we could also have like one down here instead of over here. Yeah, these guys are going to continue to be a mess. And then the other things we need are more gun turrets in multiple places. And then also, like, the plan for actually future, head to Gleba later with more stuff. We've got a whole lot of blue chips to make a silo and things. We've got some ammunition. Yeah, and then the next thing, we are going to have to reorganize this, aren't we? Because we wanted to put more storage things on it. Because we wanted to do a pattern with Grundolf, which we could convert future to later when it got there, for several reasons. Number one, we want space science, but we want space science around Gleba, because, we're going to be doing the science in Gleba. Second of all, we wanted a way to... Yeah, what if we... If we did this by itself, we're looking at 72 kilowatts for crafting speed 2. Whereas the thing I was thinking, because we have both of these modules, is what if we do a speed mod 2 and an efficiency mod 2? Because we have all of those. We get... The ghosts don't actually give us the modifications to crafting speed. That's mildly annoying. 60% consumption, 30% speed, minus 40% consumption. Okay, so we would still be up 20% consumption and up 30% speed, which is not that great versus minus 60% consumption. So it might still just be efficiency module smelters anyway. Yeah, the plan is, in much the same way as over here we are currently, making a bunch of ammunition from the iron asteroids in space. I think we can park a space station above Gleba, have it make a bunch of space science in the way that Grundolf currently is, but probably only half as much, and then have a collection of things with more of these guys making probably steel. Do you have structure? You do have structure. So we could cut all of that, move this over, in fact maybe have more here and do just a direct feed thing. And then put the collector back here. Is that true? No, it's not true. None of that is true. We're going to move this back so it actually goes, say... Okay. There, that's where we want it, because we've got to have space for the inserter. Something like that, but then also with a gap here so that we could... And I think I might cook this a little more. But the idea is... this wants to specifically look for... Yeah, use filters. You were silly. We started steel there already. We want this one to look for... You are not the steel furnace. You are the regular furnace. And then if we do something like this, then we can get a pile of steel out. And I reckon we park something like this. That is... and then also we will need a bunch of defenses around it as well. Gun turrets. And we've got to figure out how to... Do we even want the grinders here? I don't know if we want the grinders here anymore. And do we even want to be processing these other kinds of rocks? I don't know that we do. Because what I'm thinking... Yeah, so we're going to need more solar panels around. We're going to need the... Yeah, we're going to need gun turrets somewhere to protect from asteroids in all directions. I don't think we need the thrusters at all, but we are going to need more gun turrets somewhere. I'm going to have a redesign on this, but I think we build a station... Oh no, we do need these other crushers. Because we still have to be able to do the two types of space science. Because the entire point is to park this above Gleba and handle the space science, and then also handle a large... Oh, and then also these guys do not want those filters. Handle a large part of the steel need, because this iron is basically free, whereas any iron we make on the surface from... any iron we make on the surface from this bacteria duplication needs bioflux. So I cooked for a while and came up with this. This is what Future's going to turn into after they've gone to Gleba and then back again doing the supply stuff. They're going to turn into this thing, which has two space science assemblers, ammunition, like basically nothing symmetrical about this thing at all. Let's do a little base tour. Becky's not going to get this. Becky deserves better. But yeah, somewhere down here there's an assembler that's making ammunition. That ammunition goes back into the platform and then onto the belt, and then it gets to do a little tour of the base where it supplies some turrets. I think actually we can make this a little more compact. If we get rid of those things, we can get rid of that structure, which is nice. And these guys are still, and there's more guns than we need, I think, all over, but that's kind of a theme. The belt continues. We put some asteroids on the belt. It continues. We supply some more guns. It continues kind of between this steel furnace where it receives the steel and also more kinds of asteroids. And then over here it receives some iron plate. This belt then provides iron plate to the space science, which needs iron plate, and then the other two asteroid components. The other two asteroid components are crushed here. And kind of the cyclic, if we end up with any other asteroid smaller chunks coming out of the chunk we crushed, they go back in. Otherwise they end up on this pair of belts going in opposite directions, each of which is hit by a long-handed inserter to go into the space science. The space science, this one comes out over another inserter which feeds another gun, which feeds another gun into a belt which goes underneath. We're not done. Down here we get more rocks and supply more gun turrets with ammunition, and then we filter off, like this underground here will only take what's on the inside of the belt, and the ammunition will be on the outside of the belt. So no ammunition here, but we add more rocks, and then we add more plates, and there's another one that's just doing plates right here. This is kind of a mess. I think I want to do this with upgraded, as in uncommon quality solar panels as well. The limit, I think, is going to be this one fast inserter here, because this guy will kick out 20 ore in 2 seconds. That's faster than one fast inserter can do. We might need to upgrade that to a bulk inserter, but we didn't actually bother automating those anywhere. So yeah, and then the combinators are over here. These all are quite low limits on the combinator stuff. Okay, this one's, because of how we're crushing it. And it's also why this Grabby Grab is in the position it is. It like started off over here, and then I thought about it and moved it. Haven't actually tested this yet. Like, I've looked at all the belts and they all go in the right place. It hopefully works. Is that, this Grabby Grab in particular, if there's a signal on the network that says that we need, for example, carbon rocks, this guy will grab some carbon rocks, put them on the belt, they'll go all the way around. And for the entire duration of this thing, the signal still says that it needs carbon rocks unless one of these other grabbers has also grabbed a carbon rock first, in which case everyone still might be looking for carbon rocks. And so there's quite a lot of belt delay in updating the platform with what it has based on just how long these take to get here. So that's why this Grabby Grab used to be here, but that was a lot of belt delay, and we have moved it closer to this one so that they are right at the end of the path. So hopefully the platform signals update the Grabby Grab. The Grabby Grab targets hopefully quickly. And this is just going to sit in Gleba. We're going to get, these. So this, with the platform where it is, this one can't move towards the left at all. This furnace can't move towards the right. This is kind of symmetrical, but also not. And there's a gun turret in the way that's also grabbing from the belt. And then these guys just kind of bodged in it as well. We've got 4 assemblers making plate, and then 3 assemblers direct fed into 3 other assemblers making steel. So this is going to be how we get the silo steel in theory. Is Future ready to turn up? Yeah, and then we're not actually going to give... You're not requesting... Stuff would have turned up already if you were requesting stuff. We're not actually going to request... We're not going to build this here. Becky has got the space science handled, and we're just going to leave this as kind of a template that we can put Future on later. Do you have space? You do have space, because I think I want... Let's up this to 3,000, and then let's also see if we can get 1,000 space science over here as well, because we will be manufacturing it, but it's going to kind of go... We're only going to do that transition after this delivery, and then the next delivery is also done. And I think the other thing I want might actually be efficiency modules. 50? How many of these? That's one rocket. Okay, and then these guys, yeah, if rocket is 1,000, rocket is 1,000. Okay, so we're going to get a bit more stuff in here, but also we're complaining that these aren't available on Novice. Why not? Is everyone just... Are you all... Yeah, you guys should be available. Are you getting... Oh, and none of these were? There was only one of them? Okay, sure. I guess the bots are just handling it, and then I think the other thing... Yeah, because the thing I'm wondering about is... Can the bots grab this space science? Yes. Even though we're not trashing it, even though it's a thing we're just requesting, it still is provided to the logistic network, which is cool. Becky, I know you got a lot of science in here, and I would like you to just dump it all on the planet, and then you can get doing stuff again, and that'll be cool. Future is... Yeah, getting their equipment together. There's a lot of rocks in here, and I'm pretty sure that wherever these combinators are, yeah, we reduced the numbers of rocks we were looking for. Just because this is taking up a lot of space that we would rather have be other stuff. Yeah, okay. Then, yeah, back over here. This was the thing we kind of put together last time that was informative as to how we made science, but I think we want to tear all of this down basically and start again, and with a plan to get blue and that's not, yeah, that's the ammo. A plan to get blue and space science over here, and then red and green are kind of small enough that I think over here is going to be agricultural. So red and green, we're going to do a little build over here at some point, just to remember that this is what happens. And then actually, the bots are going to be unhappy about this, because these bots do not have the stuff to try and build this. Excellent, but we are still... Yeah, problems with power grid. And I do want to be... Actually, I think the other thing we've got to do is we've got to cut off this mining. And then... Actually, did we have... I hope you guys aren't running? You guys shouldn't be running, you're still taking electricity though. Did we have more fuel up here? Yes. Oh, this is actually a thing we should get Future to bring if Future has space. Yeah, we've got enough space for... How much do you stack to? Rocket capacity 20 stacks. We don't have that much space. We'd have to... we can get that on the way back, is fine. Everything is making its way up though. Never mind. Yeah, because... The thing... Yeah, I'm coming to the conclusion that I would like to be able to do this without any solar power and just run everything from burning stuff, because it's a Deathworld. I want to burn stuff, but I don't know that that is viable. Why did we run out of power so quickly? These guys are all off. Is it radars? It might be radars. It might be like this radar chewing through all the power. Yeah, which means that... And then also the other Gleba thing of... If we just harvested all these trees, and as in, yeah, these trees with the jelly stems that have the delicious jelly stem power grid 10 megajoule bigger than coal thing going on, putting these in the power grid doesn't get us seeds back, which means it's a depleting resource, which is not great. So I think what we're going to do is, oh yeah, I need to, yeah, go back and get that fuel. So now we have this fuel. You guys have a bunch of stuff. Yeah, basically the issue with... Yeah, how much power do these things use? 500 kilowatts. Okay, yeah, we definitely want to be efficiency moduling all of these guys. Yeah, so the problem... Yeah, we don't want to be processing these things into jellies here, and we especially don't want to be processing these things into the mash here. We want to be bringing the stuff in, but not from there, because there's kind of none left. We're going to go down here, and then... Do we just pack up all of this and start again? I think so, because I've got a couple of ideas of things that I wanted to do. Do I actually have... Here's some spoilage. Actually, I will keep the spoilage, because I was going to turn the spoilage into nutrients over here, except the nutrients have a 5-minute window, and we don't want that 5-minute window. Anyway, you guys want all of these bots, and my bots are off, and then we want to deconstruct basically all of this, because we are going to be moving it. And let's not destroy the power pole that's keeping everything powered. I'm pretty sure I have a whole bunch of copper that we can kind of just smelt, and I kind of would like all that stuff smelted. And so this here will, yeah, so now we don't have any of the mining that we don't particularly want / need, and we should be able to process out a bunch of this stuff, which is going to be cool. Probably like a nasty little mall thing if we do like a, not even a mall, if we do green chips here and coils here, we have enough inserter capacity bonus for this to be a viable way to make enough green chips for the amount of red and green science we want. But we also don't want to do that yet. Actually, the thing we want to do is check whether Future has all the stuff loaded. There's a bit of space left. I think we still just yeet it. I think we're planning on turning around and coming back anyway. Yeah, at station, Gleba, let's watch some space travel. It's probably going to be fine. We've got enough bullets, probably. And yeah, we're gonna get Future to Gleba. We're gonna drop off all the stuff that we want to leave here. We're gonna turn Future around to go back to pick up another load of stuff. Probably, even though this would be the 3rd delivery, and I remember wanting 2, but also I don't remember exactly what it is I still want. Yeah, we're shooting all the asteroids. This is fine. The fuel tanks are also quite full. We are halfway there. Things are pretty good. Grabby grabbers are doing their grabby grabs. Yeah. And then there's also, no, we're not going to have the same problem as on Human, because we are going to get this far and be at Gleba. And then, instead of getting hit by all these asteroids in directions that we don't have guns, what we're going to do instead is drop all the stuff we want in on the surface, which is going to include most of the yellow ammo. I should have brought landmines. Maybe that's the thing that we do on the way back. I want to send you back to Novus, but not yet. Nope, not yet. Because it was already on automatic. Okay. I hope we did fire that chemical science pack somewhere that was useful, as opposed to just some void somewhere. Anyway, Gleba done. Go back to Novus. You'll be fine there. You've probably got enough bullets. We don't want... Do we want this load? I don't think we want... We grab these 2 sciences out, we combine them like so, and we have those on a belt. We do a little red-green thing based on the iron and copper that's in here, and we've also got some cable and this kind of stuff. Actually, you can just also straight up put the cable in here, because this guy will also grab cable. And that will be the red-green blue space plan, and then we just need to do the agricultural one, which is, you know, the reason why we're here. Yes, there's a lot of trees we want over here. We're not going to worry about the crane thing yet. We're just wondering about where these belts are going to go, because we're going to need 1 out for the fruit, and then another back for the seeds. And then this is a pattern we want to use to get us towards where we're going to do the processing. And then we also need to do the Yamakos as well. Yamakos? Whatever. We should probably have some space. And I also kind of want to see what happens if we throw things that we know destroy trees against these things that explode. And they all explode. I wonder if anything fancy happens if we flamethrower them. Probably they... Are the boom puffs immune to fire? Or are they just not doing a thing yet? They're doing a thing. They're eventually doing a thing. Okay, that was kind of unimpressive. Yeah, you guys, I need the space. Thanks for being here, but you're not going to be anymore. Yeah, so we're going to do this kind of abstractly because I don't want to turn the cranes on. In fact, the cranes are not even there yet. But I want to figure out how this is going to be end up laid out so that we can, when we do turn things on, they kind of just work in theory. Maybe I should go through a couple of the ideas that I decided we weren't going to do first. In that we are also thinking here, we are thinking about Yamako mashing and having a bunch of it, and then also things were, yeah, if we had, where are these, that's not what I wanted the biochamber, which definitely has a pentapod trapped inside it. Like you make these things via a nutrient egg, yeah, nutrients and eggs. We've definitely trapped the dude in here and are, yeah, doing all terrible things to him. I wonder if we do not get a pentapod popping out when we destroy a biochamber. Interesting. Anyway, I was wondering about doing some kind of direct insertion thing because we need to get this stuff, bioflux, which is definitely, having said that there's definitely a pentapod in the biochamber, this is definitely just pentapod poop. This is pentapoop. And then something like on the other side, the jelly nut stuff. And then I was wondering about doing some kind of direct insertion of these guys in, because the jellies are the thing that have the smallest spoil time. That's where the place where spoilage is the most vicious. So, but then I was also thinking about how we get these, like this is why it's red belt of these fruit all the way in here, and thinking about ways to get the fruit into, yeah, like I think the one I did previously, we're going to kind of stitch this together, is putting a circling condition like, say, here, and we actually are going to need a pole because this is going to have to go back to the crane as well. Yeah, maybe putting a circling condition here, and then running the crane if there was nothing on this belt. And then I decided I didn't like that because it meant the stuff down here was likely more stale, although if we were running everything else out the other way and it was the stuff being used first, but I still didn't like that. Then I thought about the idea of having a belt here that ran back up to the top and connecting these two belts together so that, yeah, in addition to activating the crane if we were low, this belt would also only run if Yamatos were equal to 0. So if we had no Yamakos here, any Yamakos trapped down here could continue running around and going back into the top of the build and being picked up by more things so they had a chance to be used before they were spoiled. And then I decided that wasn't very good either, because this is basically a regular Susan at this point, in the sense that why at that point would we not just move all of these over and then have this sushi thing happening the whole time? And then the idea was we'd grab several of these, we'd grab some from both sides of the belt so that whoever wanted the stuff could get it, and then I don't actually know how many of these we want. Maybe I should do some ratios. I don't really want to do ratios, is the thing. Then down here, make sure that we go underground here. Is that where it wants to go? And then also this input specifically needs to be an underground here. Yeah, that's, I would actually rather, having seen it do that, do it like this, so that this belt can be straight and not go underground. Because, maybe I should just set this up and then we talk about it later. Because then the controls for when, like, we still don't want fruit if there's a whole lot of fruit down here, and so now what we can do is instead of checking just like are there fruit at the end of the belt, we can set this thing to read belt contents, hold all belts, and now we can just see how many fruits we've got in the system. And then the reason why this is like it is so that this underground breaks where this thing considers like the belt it can see for purposes of counting Yamakos, and then also makes sure that these are on the correct side so that we can put seeds back on the outside. You're going to need to go here. And then you're also going to need... I think we actually give you a special one. Because you're putting stuff here, and that means that we can have... Maybe we should have some red splitters. I don't actually think it matters. Probably doesn't matter for this. We want to be filtering off the Yamako seeds so that they can go... actually, they can be normal belt. These are... They are not something that spoils. They do not matter so much. Can we move it back a bit? We could move it back a bit, but the thing I also wanted to do was have, special output for this guy, and then also just, we need to filter these as well. Yamako seeds. And then do we also need a spoilage dump? I actually think we, instead of having these filter for Yamako seeds, I think we do a blacklist on Yamako mash, so that we can then have these biolabs somewhere in the middle. And then also, rather than keeping the seed, rather than kicking the seeds off the belt, I also think that was the wrong way around. And we will, this will keep the mash on the belt. And now we've got both seeds and spoilage. Let's have this here. And neither seeds nor spoilage we actually care about. This other way around. We do not care about how long the seeds stay on the belt, because I'm pretty sure that seeds, they have no spoilage. So red belt to get everything all the way in. I think this is probably more than I need. I might do some ratio work. The other thing I want to think, and then the same thing on this side, but with a belt that is... Where is the belt? It's up here. It's this belt. And then we've got to put the cranes down. And then we've got to also fuel this thing to turn it on. But then the other thing I was thinking about is, like, what ratios... Oh, actually... we definitely wanted to 500 kilowatts. We definitely wanted to be efficiency moduling these. Oh, yeah, that's right. All these things need to be efficiency moduled. Because power grid. Because we are trying to do as much as we can with a burning stuff power grid. And it may or may not work. Anyway... then this guy's going to need 3 because, it's still 100 kilowatts, whereas these guys are not that much less. Okay, sure, whatever, maybe we were overstating it. How much bioflux do we get out of this? Do we do, like, things I'm considering are kind of a 2 to 1 option, like so, or we could do a 1 to 1 option with a whole lot of biofluxes, or we could do, there's a way to do a 3 to 1, if we do this kind of thing. But the thing is, I want to be using bioflux more than any of... I want to be using up the jellies as fast as possible, with all the jellies spending as little time as jellies. 6 seconds crafting time, but this is also crafting speed 2, which means we are looking at 12 jellies in 3 seconds. And then also 5 Yamako mash. Is that right? 4 and 5? Yeah, those are the ratios. 4 and 5 each. And these recipes kick out 4 per second, but really only 3 per second because of building speed. 3 per second? Yeah. Was that actually exactly what we said we wanted? No, we wanted 4 per second on jellies. And then we wanted... And then what is the rate of Yamako mash? 1 to 2 per second versus 4 per second. So I actually think we want to get rid of a bunch of these. Have this, say, here. Do we want... This also means we want twice as many Yamako as as jelly fruit, just because of the ratios at which these things come out. And then we're going to do a similar thing on the other side. I might think about these ratios some more, and then how would, so wait, do we want one to, this wanted 5 per second actual amount of Yumako considering building speeds, and these were each doing, so it is actually going to be 3 Yumako mash. I think we do 3 here, and then does that mean we do 2 on this side? Maybe. If we go something like this, and then we have, do we just dump everything out, or do we put the spoilage in a different place? Jellies, efficiency modules, because we're worried about the power. A very similar thing, yeah, we need to get these filters in here, and then a very similar looking thing, but with, yeah, because that's right, yeah, because the other thing about, if we did this thing where one of the belts was coming this way and the other was going the other way, then the other thing I was concerned about was the ripe jellies down this side and the ripe Yumakos up this side, and the assemblers in the middle not really getting anything, and everything spoiling and going off and being gross. Whereas this way, with this pattern, we can make sure that everyone is getting the jelly fruit, and then just ask the cranes when we have like a low enough number on the belt. Do we want... And then how fast are we kicking this stuff out? 4 in 6 seconds, 4 in 3 seconds, so it's more or less one and a bit a second, which means it probably can just go on. If we just do this, and then we have, I think we just run this one underground. Where is maximum extension in this case? Here. And then when we turn this on, we figure out which one of these belts needs to combine into the... Actually, we only need one of these. Maybe it's like this. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's like this. Doesn't really matter. But we will have a nice way of kind of doing a tiling build. Because then we get all of these. How many have we got? We made... So I think this means we want... Why? Because these are set up every 2 and this is set up every 3. Okay, fine. We just go... there. And then this one doesn't need to exist. That one did need to exist. And also this one needs to exist. And that one needs to exist. Okay, I might go over my ratios again, check this is good. I didn't really want to be doing ratio stuff. I wanted to just have a bit of a kludge, and I didn't really want to be doing circuit condition stuff either. But I guess we're doing that as well. Oh well. Then also, how is Future doing with its stash of stuff? It's got everything it needs, which means I also need to figure out what it needs to get turned into this and get that sent up. And we also can't really deconstruct Future yet because, like, we can't just do it with the auto-construct feature because we kind of want to keep these tanks of fuel around that are pretty important. So, I mean, that's a little, yeah, comparison for me to do. I think this is going to work. And then we've got to get these other, yeah, we've got to get the other belts in, put the cranes on, also figure out where power grid is going. Yeah, because I think... Because all the spoilage wants to go into power grid, which is fine. Let's, yeah, okay, yeah, we're going to talk about power grid now because I had a cool idea for that as well. This was the bioflux. Wait, these guys also need the nutrients. So we can actually skip a nutrient line through here as well, but it might need to go the other way because the bioflux is coming down. And then somewhere down here we can have a chamber that is the bioflux that is making... Yeah, nutrients from spoilage, terrible. Nutrients from Yumako, actually pretty good. But we're already using more Yumako than anything else. Nutrients from bioflux. Is this recipe actually good? 4 Yumako mash, 6 nutrients, 40... nutrients from 5 bioflux. 5 bioflux is slightly more than one cycle of 15 and 20. So yeah, we're going to go with this one because it spreads the load over the jelly nut, and the others a little more. But the idea is, yeah, let's copy all of this thing and put it over there where we're not going to use it, and then get rid of it because you guys, we've got base bots helping out. Thanks, guys. These, does that bring us up to the 9 that we want? It does. And this also is a much better pattern for the other stuff falling off the end, so that's nice. And then, okay, so let's do this from the map because it turns out we don't want those. We actually just want this pattern. And it's going to go, it could go here. And then these guys are getting in on their red belt because they are special, and the nuts can go back out there on a slow belt because they're fine, and then this guy's kicking things out this side, so it's fine. And then we've got a thing to do with spoilage. I said we were going to talk about power grid. We kind of didn't. I also wanted to think about, yeah, how this was kicking, and it needs to go one more, doesn't it? If we go here, this is a way that we can get nutrients in, which I'm not sure that I'm happy with, but whatever. Hopefully it works. Not that. This here. And then, oh yeah, other ratios, yeah. Because the thing I was thinking about, the agricultural science, which happens in this thing, I want to find efficiency modules. Yeah, I don't think we need many of these assemblers at all. And then also over here, let's have the pentapod eye thing. Pentapod egg. Yeah, because these are 4 seconds per science, building speed 2. As opposed to, say, red science, which is, I could have, yeah, just looked at the other place, 5 seconds each, building speed 0.75. So if we do even 2 of these things, that's a decent clip of science, to the point I will worry about getting how many eggs are going to fall out. But then also, what rate do we need these eggs? 1 bioflux every 4 seconds, whereas this stuff is kicking out a lot more bioflux than that. If we're doing this 3 times in these building speeds, actually this is yeah, I like this a lot for the purposes of, we've got building speed 2 here, building speed 2 here, building speed 2 here. So the amount of bioflux coming out, if everything is running fine, is exactly 4 per second. Although I kind of want it to be ingredient starved, because as long as it's ingredient starved, we are using the jelly and mash as soon as it turns up. Maybe we achieve that. Okay, so 4 bioflux a second. This guy needs 5 bioflux every 2 seconds to make a lot of nutrients, and then these guys need 1 egg into 2 eggs every 15 seconds. So if we actually have, forgetting about building speed, if we need an egg every 4 seconds, then we actually need 3, maybe 4 pentapod egg makers. I think we're going to do 3 pentapod eggs into 1 biochamber, because that means we should have all, from this pattern, we should have all the bioflux we need, and as soon as we get the eggs free from the biochamber, we can give them, but we also then, I think we're going to do another fancy combinator thing, but I don't know where, because we want, maybe we can get 2 of these things out, because yeah, what I'm thinking is, we put this in, but we also have, not that, we override these to stack size of 1. So we're just moving these at one at a time. And then we also have a belt here. Is this going to do what I need it to? I think so. And then, yeah, we're going to do... Is this going to be normal or long-handed? I think this might actually need to be long-handed just so we can manage spoilage and stuff like that. But we're going to link this inserter to this belt so that this inserter... I'm actually not sure if this is going to work. Yeah, only run if everything is equal to 0 or anything is equal to 0. Oh, this is to do it with the items. Pentapod egg is over here. Pentapod egg equals 0. And the idea with that is we get 2 pentapod eggs out. Yeah, race conditions. I don't know if this is going to actually work. Because I want to... What is it? How long do these things last? 15? Maybe it's fine. Like, I don't really want the eggs sitting around in here. Let's actually have this set equal to 1. Because I can see, yeah, this guy's going to run around. It's going to fill up its own internal buffer of eggs. I think we just have to tolerate eggs exploding at some point. I don't think there's any other way around that not being the case. But the plan is flip one of these guys vertically, put it here, flip it, yeah, and do this. And now, if we can get all things in, which is just nutrients, and then it's also not a particularly big rate of nutrients, is it? 30 per 15 seconds. Oh, it's actually quite a big rate of nutrients because of the building speed. 30 in 7.5 seconds. That's fine. We can still just go... I was going to talk about the power grid, and then we did not talk about the power grid. But we have a pattern that I think will work. That will mean that... Actually, I don't think we... I think if we're looking at this being equal to 1, then this doesn't actually need to exist at all. I think this inserter will win the race, and these guys will always have the eggs they need, and this inserted jump will mean that there are... Actually, we don't want this piece of belt here at all, because if we had that belt there, we could have up to 4 eggs there at any point, and we only want 1 egg there. These are all stack size 1? Yes. So we're going to put 1 egg here, we're going to move it to here, this inserter probably wins and feeds it back in. The next egg, the same until this guy has all the things at once, and then once this inserter isn't taking any because the biochamber is full, it gets over here and we can use... Yeah, this is still not enough, is it? And it also wants to not be enough because we want to be able to use these eggs as much as we can. So maybe we do that twice. I was going to talk about power grid stuff, because we also, you know, everything's blinking because we don't have the power grid. Yeah, we've got this kind of... I was going to say this kind of pattern again. We're actually not going to do that. Like, I don't know what other sources of grid we're going to use, but I think this... not that way. Yeah, I still have to figure out what the key for Super Force build is. Never mind. Yeah, if we have spoilage on... Yeah, Yamako seats on one side, spoilage on the other side. I think one of the plans that I like quite a lot is having... And this is also a very 2.0 plan. This does not work in many cases. Yeah, where are my burner inserters? So this looks pretty normal. And... that's where it ends, because I want more pipe over here. And we're just going to put this in here in a tank. I don't have the tanks down here, do I? No. There are, however, tanks up here because we thought we might need tanks. We've got 9 tanks. Now we have 9 tanks. Yeah, because the idea is... I still don't know how we're... Maybe it's the jelly nuts, because it looks like we don't need as many of them, but also... using jelly nuts up and not getting the seeds out is pretty bad. So maybe we also want to be processing some of these just into the flesh and using the flesh for grid. But anyway, the point of this thing was somewhere there will be a real grid. I'm not sure where, but until then, where are my tanks? My tanks are over here. Yeah, these guys are out of fuel. That's kind of fine. Give me the tanks. Any spoilage that just comes out, I want to be able to have in tanks for steam that then we can... Actually, the steam needs to be on the other side, doesn't it? If we have... And I don't know where real grid is going either. It could go almost anywhere. Could go over here. Why not? Let's do a real looking grid thing. And then I guess we also need these pipes through the middle of it. Let's get that lined up a little better. And then... Yeah, because we want to be running this grid only if there is a shortage in this tank. And then we also want to be... Do we have pumps? Did I not bring any... We went up to look for the tanks, but did not get pumps. Yeah, we've got 9 pumps. Give me the pumps. Give me some undergrounds. Give me some of these as well. I don't remember whether or not we had those. We probably did. These, and then also... Oh yeah, we already had both those. Those are the ones that were already here. Pumps, please. That's my pumps. One of those has got to be my pumps. There we go. Yeah, we want to pump... I actually think it's going to be... Yeah, it's going to be this way around, isn't it? These ones are just going to straight up connect, and then this tank is going to go here, and we're going to pump into this tank if we have less than... Enable, disable, cool, good use of buttons. Less than, say, 25,000 steam. That's a silly number. Let's go 12,000 steam. So we should have power grid here. I still think we might need solar as well. That's a shame. But now this thing here is also just where we can put our actual grid. Rather than... Could we have... We could actually have it down here as well. We could just run the grid off this thing. And have we... Yeah, we've not picked a particularly great space for it. That being said, we have found places where... Yeah, we can kind of line this up nicely. Okay. Wait, yeah. What if we go back one? Yes. Also yes. Okay. So we can get a bit of grid in here, and then, you know, magic fluids, we can just do any other weird stuff we like. It's fine. Oh, I was going to get more landmines from future, wasn't I? Okay. This, anyway, is the plan of how I would like to... That'll work surprisingly well. Yeah, prioritize turning anything that's spoilage into more grid, and then also being able to plug in some other grids somewhere else. I don't know if that's going to work overall. We still need to do the nutrients plan. I think the next thing I'm going to do is, yeah, check that this is going to do what I think I want it to, and then also wander back over to future and make sure that they've got all the stuff they want. But I think we're also just going to request at this point, could I have some more landmines, because I'm pretty sure I'm low on landmines here. Can I get another 400 landmines, please? And then I hope I have... Yeah, we're going to need another couple of chem plants, not many chem plants. We've got a cargo bay thing. We're going to need more foundation as well. Yeah, we're going to figure out what future needs to turn into this disaster. And then also... And then, yeah, start sending it over here. And then make sure that my plan here is the thing that we want. And then, yeah, figure out where these are going to go. If we've got nutrients over here... Yeah, and then all of these are also going to need just a way to dump spoilage somewhere. And in fact, spoilage might be... I don't think we're going to have 15 a second spoilage, are we? That would feel bad. But yeah, things to run around and check and plug in and build and do. Wait, these guys aren't electrical at all. These guys are fuel-based. Do I care about bioflux? I think I care about bioflux. Prod mod these guys. Do I have prod mods? I don't have prod mods. Bring in the prod mods. And then how do we get the spoilage out of these? Oh, we don't have to worry about getting spoilage out of these guys. Spoilage out of these guys is we just put guns in places. We are learning the game by playing the game, and I've realized that I've been a bit of a doofus. Reading as it turned out helped. In that, yeah, first we were worried about these things taking up all the power grid because they were 500 kilowatts or whatever, 500 kilowatts, yeah. And then we realized, no, they're fueled, it's fine, we can productivity these things. And then I noticed that biochambers as a baseline have 50% productivity, so I don't think I care about this productivity at all. I think we've already got the productivity that we want, and in particular, maybe we're not going to be making these with productivity either, because we already get 50% productivity, but also we were going to get jumped by 50% more pentapods than I expected, because I had not accounted for that productivity. And then also, down here, we're making 40 nutrients every second because the building has speed 2. We've added some productivity. The spoil time is 5, but nutrient value 2 megajoules. This is 80 megajoules worth of energy coming out of this thing for various purposes. With the productivity, okay, let's get this baseline back. That's 120 megajoules to play with, which is a lot of power to module these guys and a lot of power to get in the grid if we can deal with the nutrients expiring quickly. Which made me all think that, what about if instead of productivity in the agricultural science, what if we went over here and got the quality 2 modules? In fact, just give me all the modules. What if we got all of those modules and socketed them in here and had 50% productivity and quality? And then I realized, okay, first of all, we're going to want less of these. How many have we got? 4? I think 4 is probably going to be all we want. But yeah, because these ratios change. But then it struck me that where are my modules? Give me the modules. Let's also put all the blue chips somewhere else here. Looks good. That if we quality module these guys, a thing we could actually do is pull all these efficiency modules out, because we're not really concerned about how much this stuff costs, and quality all of these guys as well. Okay, these are going to have to move somewhere else. It's fine. And then instead of, yeah, I guess we're going to do all of these differently. Actually put these guys on a belt, which I was avoiding because it means there are a pile of pentapods around the place. It's just one of these things that's odd, but then you also need, yes, we've got to go there and then here, because you've got to be able to get your pods back. But then if we have a belt here, which accumulates pentapods, and quality pentapods, then we can have like science here, science here. This can go a little bit further. Do I want it there? Do I want it further away? I think we want it further away. And then we can have, yeah, because there's other stuff that has to go in here as well. But then one of these recipes can actually be agricultural science at uncommon quality, because, yeah, then we need to put this one, actually we're going to put this one back a little bit, like here, I guess. Because we can get quality pentapod legs out. These guys, I think we do 1 speed each, and then a whole bunch of quality, and so the ratios of the amount of quality eggs we're getting out don't match the ratio of quality of pentapoop, but we're making more of this to do other stuff anyway, and these ratios should mostly preserve that route. So I think this is going to play. The next good idea was, we're still struggling for grid. All of this is unhappy and blinking, and even before we get this nutrient thing online, which we still need to get somewhere, wouldn't it be cool if there was a place in orbit that just had a source of things that could be fuel? So I think we go like this. I think we're also going to be short of iron, so we're going to change this to gears as well, and pull gears down. Which of these? Yeah, so you want to be checking yeah, fewer of these, maybe only 400, and you want to be checking gears, because I think we're going to be short of gears for the green and red science, and then also we want to only be cracking these things if we've got less than, say, 400. That's not the number we wanted. Is that a lot? They stack in... Actually, they stack in 50s, don't they? Let's get that down to 200. And so now we have a way that we're getting a fuel. We have another source of iron that isn't just ammunition that's going to be useful for the science. So let's have some inserters here and use this one to get the... And I'm enjoying having these things kind of separated into boxes, so we've got other places for them to be. And then yeah, you would like to call down yeah, some number of gears, 100 gears. Let's go with 400 or 600 gears. 6 stacks, we've got the space for it, it's fine. And then also this graphite. Again, quite a lot of it. Just we'll have everything you can pull out of space. And that will mean that... Where's this going to go? I think this is... Oh, yeah, because this guy is its own logistic storage thing, isn't it? We can do this, and... Now we've got an automated fuel source into these guys. And then if we run this... Yeah, good reasons to not have that there is we can run... this... What is now a fuel line. Not a very good fuel line, but a basic fuel line... into actually this is the wrong power plant. We wanted it into this one. This is the spoilage power plant, and actually the spoilage power plant, in a weird way, probably wants fast inserters, because here it looks like, yeah, because I think we are going to have items that need to be consumed really quickly because the spoilage is really bad. Oh, that was the other thing, yeah. On Grondolf, it turns out as a random quirk of fate that if we want to be getting carbon out of this design as well, we can actually just rotate this belt. And now the carbon, and if we get rid of this thing, then... Actually, no, we shouldn't get rid of that thing. We should filter this one instead, for capacity and throughput reasons. So the carbon goes out here. Then this belt... we circuit condition to only run if we have less than the amount of carbon we want. And this is now a crazy plan, which I like quite a lot. Actually, that means, yeah, this one here should also be filtered for ice. Cool. So now we smash this carbon. Any asteroids go back in storage. Any carbon things go on this belt. And if we have less than the amount of carbon we need, then it goes to the belt that it shares with the space science and back in. And now when we get this thing over here, we will have, you know, another source of carbon of kind of power grid. And then the other thing I concluded was, I think future is just going backwards and forwards again. I think we're going to do another trip, which means I think, yeah, you've got ammo. How about you just go to Gleba, because we kind of want the stuff. And then I think we're going to do maybe another couple of runs of this as well with more things. And so we've automated a nasty red science here. I am still concerned at our ability to get enough iron and copper for this. And one of the things I'm wondering about is because we've got future back in the orbit of, where are we? Navas? Gleba? Stopped at Gleba? Can we go to Navas? It's time to go to Navas? Yeah. And the question is one of the things we do we just use future as just a ferry to bring iron over from Navas? Do we just use Navas as a mall construction? And the answer to that is no, we're not going to bring iron over from Navas. That's silly. What we're going to do is bring green science over from Navas. We're going to find... yeah, okay, sure. We're going to have... These won't be powered, so it's fine. Green science. Because this has all the iron and everything we want. This is just how we're going to get green science over to Navas, and let's have a lot, because this stuff is cheap, and we can just ferry this around as well if these other things are going to be difficult for us to get. And then also let's give it power. And we were already... yeah, we're already backed up here. This isn't doing anything. This is just going to make a novice that wasn't doing much do something, which is nice. And then, yeah, the other pretty major realization. So we've got red science, we've got a plan for green science. I need to figure this out again. But the other thing that struck me, that is why these biochambers are a big deal, is they're straight up just chem plants. We can give them chem plant recipes, we can put regular modules in them, and they are speed 2 with innate 50% productivity, which means that we can do plastic at 50% productivity for free, not even including module slots. We can do acid, we can do sulfur, we can do the cracking. All of those things, pretty big deal. It means that we do need to get these nutrients back on Navas somehow if we're going to do that. But also, that's why I was trying to figure out why I would care about tree seedlings. This is like plant a tree, okay, great, tree seeds, fine. And then fish breeding. Why would I care about fish breeding? And now I care about fish breeding because this loop allows me to get nutrients from fish and then turn nutrients into more fish. And so now we have a nutrient loop that we can do on Navas to power the better chem plants. So this is all looking pretty good, and I've got some technologies that I'm actually interested in doing now, in addition to... what was that? There was a good one at a carbon fiber as well, wasn't there? There was like a rocket turret, sure, and then tool belt equipment. There is a piece of equipment that we can manufacture that will give us inventory size boosts at a 3x1 equipment grid thing. So I like that a lot. That's going to extend the inventory. That's going to be cool. So we've got some good things to research. But yeah, there was the thing I was going to say about this fish thing, is that if you look at it immediately, it doesn't seem like it works. 20 nutrients from one fish, but over here the extra fish costs us 100 nutrients, which is like 5 fish. How does this work out? But remember that we've got an innate 50% productivity on these biochambers, and so with that in mind, find the fish again. And this is also like absolutely as a research we can do if we bring over a bunch of space science. With 50% productivity, this is 30 nutrients, and with 50% productivity, this is, I think, 4.5 fish, or at least on average 4.5 fish. But if we think about cranking that up to say 66% productivity, because that makes the numbers nice, 3 fish is 5 fish at an additional 66% productivity, at which point we're looking at 33 nutrients per fish. And then over here at 66% productivity, we're looking at what, 34 nutrients? So it kind of breaks even at about 66% productivity, which tells us how much we need to module things. And it turns out, and this is either good design or just like fantastic quirks of numbers, 4 prod mods gets us to 66% productivity, which I think just breaks even with the fish and the nutrients. I think we would need to give this improve, like better modules, either module 2s or quality module 1s or something like that. But that is now a thing that's going to make Navas a whole lot better, because we'll be able to stretch our petrochem a lot more. Was there anything else that... and then, yeah, efficiency module 3, whatever, we'll research that. It's here. Captivity. And then, yeah, we're also already boxing military science. I don't know if we're boxing 4,000 military science, but this is just, yeah, we can just bring over green science, military science, blue, even space science. All of these science packs are pretty easy to move. We can do red here. We've got some of that, but not a whole lot. Yeah, then I just need to like plug this in and connect the cranes and make all this stuff work. Yeah, but you know, plans. I may still be overcooking this, but I also realized that these biochambers can mash the fruit as well, which is kind of huge for a bunch of reasons. First, it means all of this processing that's currently electrical, as we're struggling for electrical, can be freed up and use the nutrients instead. And actually, the nutrients are not actually a fuel source. There are different kinds of energy. We can't use the nutrients, we can't use the pentapoops, but freeing up that grid for the labs will be good. But then also, let's talk about seeds. This is kind of a big deal. Each time you harvest a tree, you get 50 of these things. But then statistically, you get back, on average, enough seeds to replant one tree. Which means if any of the fruit ever spoils, you are kind of depleting that resource. However, with the innate productivity of these biochambers, and we're probably going 1 prod 3, 1 speed 3 prod, just to keep the crafting speed about the same and get a little more productivity, we are now, first of all, getting a whole lot more mash out per fruit, but also we are net positive on seeds, which is cool, because it means we don't have to worry about depleting the trees as much, like nearly as much. And also, the trees, I should have kept this, the seeds are also fuel, so any surplus of seeds can just get in the grid. And then the next thing is, these things being faster and more productive changes all of these ratios as well. Like, I think I still want to do a direct insertion thing, except I think it's probably going to be closer to 1 to 1. Like, these are 2 per second, but there's also a ×3 multiplier in there, and actually a bit more than ×3, because we've got 2 crafting speed and also 62 productivity, so it's really something more like 6 and a bit per second. Jeepers, we are going to have throughput issues. We're going to need to do like double things. And then these want 15 in 3 seconds, which is 5 per second. So this might actually still be, I kind of want, like, we can't put quality in this because we're not planning on dealing with the other tiers out, but this still might be more Yamakos than we actually want. Maybe we don't actually want a speed. Maybe we just want all the productivity to slow this thing down a bit. I don't know, that's the thing to play with. But then also on the other side, this is far too many, like, even if we do, we're going to keep this, because thinking about this. This is 4 jelly nuts per second with more or less a ×3 for productivity and building speed. 12 jellies per second, first of all, is more than we want for one of these. But also, I think we're going to struggle to get this out, and we might have to do something like this, but then we've also got to get nutrients into all of these as well. And I think that means that even if we swap some of these out, which is fine to do because we have, like, we've got a network, it's fine, we can just have all the house bots do this stuff, we've got a bunch of them. I think we still want to keep some number of these just as assemblers to help bootstrap the pentapoop and the nutrients. So that's that. Yeah, and then I think a bunch of these can swap out for these other biochem things. And then the other thing, with realizing I'm not going to be able to use the pentapoop or the nutrients for the power grid, I did also look at, let's just... Do we have... Oh, don't have any more of these, never mind. I think rocket fuel might end up being the go-to thing for the power grid, because the rocket fuel is 100 megajoules. It is actually a fuel that we can put in boilers with a craft time of 10 per second. With a craft time of 1 every 10 seconds, we're looking at about 10 megawatts, but also multiplied by 3 because building speed and productivity. So we've got about 30 megawatts of power grid out of this rocket fuel, and we wanted rocket fuel for rockets anyway. And I was toying with maybe some kind of direct insertion thing. Like, what are the ratios? I think it was 1 to 2. Rocket fuel 30 per 10 seconds, and then jelly nuts out. So this is like 3 per second, and then jelly nuts out were, because of the productivity bonus, 6 per second here. So it's a 1 to 2 ratio, more or less, if we're trying to do this direct insertion thing. The thing is, these guys both need nutrients. And so rather than do a... Where's my stuff? Like, this was going to be the first kind of plan, but I don't think we do that. I think we kind of shuffle these around a bit. And then the other thing about this means that instead of the double long-handed inserters, we can just have a belt here of... Yeah, we're probably going to need double inserters here as well, aren't we? Because this stuff is the really fast one. And we still need... Yeah, 3 per second, but it ends up more like 7 per second once we start considering the productivity. Do we want quality rocket fuel for my car? I don't think we do, but if we put here a belt of nutrients and bioflux, which happens to be, you know, kind of the same belt that we wanted down here for the science anyway, and then we can drop... Yeah, we can drop this rocket fuel on some other belt. I think this actually wants to go underground. I think we want to do something like... If we do this, and then here we filter for spoilage, because there's always spoilage, and then these other guys' spoilage can also just go there, then we could actually have this pattern, like, hook it right on this thing here, because this is where all our jelly fruit are, right? Maybe, how much space do we have? Oh, there's this, yeah, there's this other kind of scratch stuff. But we can have, because we can get some water in here, and then we can have another belt through here that is, yeah, rocket fuel, and we can use it for grid and stuff like that. And the thing that we're observing now is we need a lot more biochambers. How do we make biochambers? Yeah, so I guess we're doing ratios now. Sure, yeah, we ended up putting a whole bunch of prod mods in these guys to slow them down so that we'd have the right amount of stuff coming out without using any quality, because we didn't want to have to deal with that between these. But yeah, this indication at the top of the info box seems to be pretty helpful at telling us, like, we're making 5.31 and we're consuming 5.24, so that isn't quite using more mash than we created, but it's like close. Then this one is what, 13.6 versus 4.19 of the jelly, so this is kind of a 1 to 3, so we ended up coming up with this kind of 1 to 3 plan, and we can extend it down here when we get that far. But the other crazy thing is, I realized with these fluids we can just pull anything that spoils off the belt, make sure boilers are connected via pipes to other things, and we don't need the boilers near the engines at all. It's not 1.1 anymore. But what we do need to do is fire down some assemblers. Let's use this space as well to make some Yamako mash, because we have a bunch of them with us, with which we are doing this kind of thing. And yeah, we need to, yeah, we've already got the pentapod eyes. We've already got the pentapod. Where's nutrients from? Oh, it can't. They can't happen in. So I guess we're handcrafting some of these. Yeah, we've already got the pentapod eggs. So if these guys, and it doesn't show us the spoilage on the hotbar. That's sneaky. Anyway, yeah, let's get some nutrients from spoilage, and then we can maybe use some of these other mini biochambers to turn this stuff, yeah, this stuff, of which we have a whole lot, because we need, as it turns out, quite a few nutrients to kick off. That's probably enough to kick off this process. Yeah, we need, actually the first things we need, yeah, it's not fully connected. I think I moved some of these things and then had the bots do it and didn't actually, yeah, a lot of the stuff isn't reconnected, but hopefully there's enough space to make everything work. I guess what we should do first is, yeah, we're not going to talk about the circuit controls much at this point. Where is it? Here it is. But those, in theory, have made the collections work. And there's other combinator stuff here, and also we've got a couple of cranes down here. We're not going to talk about what the combinators do right now. We probably will later. Most of all, we just want to see these things coming back. Yeah. And then you guys also... yeah, just keep giving me these nutrients, because we need to spread some nutrients around here. And also a couple around here. And then also have some nutrients for the thing we need to connect later. Yeah, are you guys done? You guys are... whatever. Actually, you know what? Yeah, the smasher's already kind of running out, isn't it? Oh wait, were these things actually something we didn't connect? We in fact have not connected them yet, so that's super cool. This looks like it's going to go here. Oh, trees. I don't think I care about trees at all. This one is a seeds thing that we need to deal with. And we also need to get water in here as well. And yeah, we are at least... why are we getting spoilage already? That's a bit of a concern. Whatever. Okay, there are some actual things coming through here. Oh, I guess they might have been in the box previously. Are these guys connected? Also no. And also that's really not where they want to be. They want to be over here. And we also don't have the seed return done yet, but also whatever. And then, yeah, so we've got some jellies coming out, which, because you guys don't have... didn't I pick up the mash? Maybe the mash already spoiled. I think this is also going to be a pretty good test. Oh, we've got it here. I think this is going to be a pretty good test of whether or not this thing is, like, can recover from strange situations as well. Because we have just turned this thing on, and then you also will want a bunch of nutrients. And as long as you can get some nutrients. Did I want that in the same place? Oh, and then we also didn't want to put those nutrients into all of these guys yet. But we do now have, yeah... because we've got to somehow get nutrients on... what do we do with these jellies? I don't think I care about those jellies. I think those jellies just go over there. And they will bounce into the power grid, which is probably fine. And then we needed more nutrients, of which we have... yeah, just put some down here. And I think, actually, we're going to run this way. How long do you guys... 5 minutes. I guess they arrived quite spoiled as part of the thing. And then these... yeah, just a whole pile of spoilage falling out of here. Okay. More nutrients. More things coming out here. How long do we have on the pentapods? Still about 7 minutes. Okay, so I think we wanted this one. Actually, we wanted to combine these, didn't we? And then where is this input? We do this, and we get a... I would like a red... splitter, and I'm pretty sure bots have those splitters. And then we also want to... yeah, filter just for something we don't have. Actually, can we move all of this stuff to, like, over here? Because if we can do that... these are in the wrong place. Oh, don't you be taking my quality modules away. Because the idea with that is... yeah, things we have still not explained, but hopefully we are ahead of the... actually, is that where this one goes? It kind of is, but it also kind of isn't. You just have more stuff, and then we also just need more nutrients. Yeah, I think this one wanted to actually wander in just here. Okay, so now we have fresh nutrients, and we have a whole pile of spoilage, which is fine. And then nutrients run down here and along here. And then... on this side of a belt. And then they need to get in here. I am aware that I am not explaining this particularly well. But I'm also kinda hoping... and then we just, like, set this going again... that we can get it online and running. Did we actually... we've nearly done all of this. And then these are also going to need, yeah, spoilage handling as well. These guys are probably ready for these eggs. Some of those might spoil. That is a possibility we will consider. But like the new eggs are getting out there. These guys are getting their... This is mostly working, and then yeah, we just also need to empty off this belt. But we are making a lot of jellies because we are not getting the... because we've actually not given any facility for these guys to get the nutrients. That's a fairly important step. So let's power this in here and then go... Where is this? Can we fit? This would have to move... Actually, it doesn't. Oh, no. Yeah, we would have to go... Here, let's override this to stack size 1. Let's use a filter for nutrients. And then let's just... So now we've got... I actually would like a slower inserter for that. I don't think I need that many nutrients at all. But I think a medium hand inserter would be the thing we would want. And then these guys are also ingredient... Oh, because you guys went in the wrong place. Yes, because we just also need to deal with this garbage situation. Because we are currently making too much stuff. So we have new eggs coming out, which is cool. We have the science that we wanted, which is exciting. Other than the fact that we just need to actually make it work, and then it just goes in here. I don't have, and then we need spoilage controls for this thing, and then I would also like some regular belts. Okay, so if this thing works, and that is an if, how we are getting... Why are you not? Because we're not getting quality. Why are we not getting... Oh yeah, because the entire grid just fell over. That was a thing that we were... Oh yeah, conscious about, because we're using the labs now. And we also haven't given water to this spot. So let's do that. It's pretty important, because things are probably building up with spoilage. And then also... Why are we down here? Oh yeah, because it's all the other stuff filtering off as well, isn't it? Yeah. Cool. Okay, so we need to be processing this stuff out. And then also having more power grid. Do I have bot range on this stuff? Oh, also, maybe we should be researching a tech that uses... Yeah, that actually uses the agricultural science that we now have. That might be cute. Okay, do we have rubber? We do have rubber bot range here, so that's fine. And then also all of this also wanted... Oh, we have connected to that, to the water now. We just are filled with the steam. Okay, this steam kind of wants to go down here. Is that true? I don't think that's true. But we are going to bodge it in for now, because we just need engines on this grid. Because we need to be processing out all these jellies that we don't want. We also are short of... Okay, this is still a mess, but we are doing science. And then we are also building up a pile of pentapod eggs, which I do not like. You have all these eggs. Yeah, rares are the things I'm somewhat worried about. And go away. Thanks. And you guys are still kind of running, but then we're not getting the bioflux through. And here's the rare bioflux that you needed. Okay. And then... yeah, let's spread this ammo around a little better. What did I come back for? I came back for copper to get poles. Oh wait, no, I just needed to turn my bots on. I already had these poles. And then I also had all the boilers. And then not all of these connected because the patch was garbage, but that's fine. And then, yeah, some of these guys also aren't working. Okay. Let's do this again. Okay, there we go. So some of these guys are still not getting fuel. Also, we're getting... Yeah, all the rocket fuel has also... why are you putting... That rocket fuel should not have spoiled. Ah, all of these things spoiled before they got jellies? No, they would have got jellies. All the jellies spoiled before they got anything else? Whatever. What's a way we can do to process this? Yeah, because we want to get this rocket fuel into the grid somewhere. Are we? We are not... yeah, we still have this rare pentapod problem as well. We are going to get rid of the rare pentapods by... I mean, we are doing science at this point. This is very exciting. We're going to have another boiler here, and we're just going to put the pentapods directly in the boiler. That's how that's going to work. And then also, actually, let's put it one to the side and give, give these two rare oh, actually, yeah, filters. Okay, cool. Pentapod eyes. We still don't have a way of processing pentapod eyes, and we would just like them in that furnace. And then you guys are also waiting on pentapod eyes because I guess if one of them spits out a quality pentapod eye, then it doesn't get the other stuff that it needs. And then yeah, you can just have regular things in here. Okay, so why are we not? Okay, now we are. And then we've also put a pile of it in here, which is not overly surprising. Yeah, I thought we would have more nutrients than we needed, and we kind of do. Anyway, this guy needs water. Really needs water, so otherwise we don't have to fight this rare pentapod eye. This is getting exceptionally messy, and I'm not actually sure it will stabilize. Is that where I want it? I don't really want it there. I would rather have this down here, so that this horizontal line, yeah, do we have, yeah, we no longer have any pentapod eyes there. We just have a pile of steam. Yes. Okay, and then we also wanted a way to tank the steam, and then we also wanted, yeah, this... Where's the line that is supposed to be rocket fuel were it not completely broken? It's here, and we can run it this way? Okay, so all of this is... we are not processing it out fast enough because we're not actually using the power grid. We've got all the power grid we need, but because... yeah... Because we're not using enough power grid, we don't even have prod mods in the labs. Why do we not have prod mods in the labs? We were extremely silly. But we do now have agricultural science. You are also just waiting on agricultural science? Sure, do I have anything? I have speed mods. I don't want to give you speed mods. I would rather that you had the prod mods. And then bots don't have prod mods? Okay, how are we doing over here? Are we at least... We are at least processing... We are not getting the pentapod eyes up. We are kind of getting them... I mean, this guy not having fuel is fine. And then we also need to worry about this jellies problem. And the jellies are also just building up. Did you get... You got a way to get your steam out? Okay, I think the other thing we're going to do... While we are bodging this together is Future, who I believe is still, yeah, at Novice, we would like more prod 1s and also more module 2s because we kind of ran out of them. Thanks. And the thing I'm wondering about is, yeah, we're not getting nutrients through. I've got nutrients. You're not. Maybe we do just need nutrients at that rate. And then, yeah, let's actually turn this all off again, because it does look like a bunch of things are somewhat working out, but a bunch of other things aren't. We have actually done some tech things. We've got logistic embargo, we've got rush to space for doing a tech without, yeah, for doing a, like, non-novice tech without all of, yeah, without doing purple or blue science. We don't have pentapods building up on this queue, which is fantastic. Oh, we needed more quality there. Why do we not have quality there? Yeah, grab that guy and then Control Z it to... Nope. I want you to put the modules in this guy first, which you have done. Okay, now we can Control Z and put that guy back. This still feels like a massive mess, but why are we... Oh, we're doing fish breeding and that's going slowly because it's just a large amount of research. Yeah, I am... Oh, let's also get this spoilage into some power grid. This might also be the continuing theme of how this looks, as it might still just continue to be a mess. And what have we got going over here? We've got a pile of nutrients. We do just have a pile of nutrients. Can we just have a filter for nutrients on the right? And this might also... Like, some of these might spoil. Yeah, like some of these might spoil as they go around again, but they'll at least get the other nutrients back into the loop, and then these things I kind of don't care about. Like, there's a lot of spoilage in here. I think that will eventually all be spoilage. And then can we... Yeah, like spoilage we just want in the furnaces. Actually, I was trying to get rid of these guys. Actually, not those. I just wanted to get rid of the boxes so that we could change these filters to spoilage. Spoilage. And we're just going to box everything until it spoils. I wonder if quality spoilage is a thing. And then run it just down here. You guys have still got your solid fuel. And we can't take things out of the boilers by left-clicking on the boiler anymore. Interesting. Okay. Oh yeah, because this was supposed to be a stable power grid, and it's kind of not. Okay. Run in there. Have some movement on the other side as well, and we should now be using a lot of these guys in the power grid. We're still not using that much power grid. Maybe we could, in fact, afford the Module 2s for these labs. And we are not getting the rare. Yeah, you just have all of these. We kind of needed that to be... I needed you to be getting all the rare things. I think that means we double insert all of these, because we don't want pentapods here. We want science. Okay, and then I think, yeah, I think we go back to future, and we say, could you also bring me a stack of Module 2s for these labs, thanks. And yeah, is that... These guys are kind of not all still running. Oh, because if you make... Yeah, give me this. Where is it there? Yeah, because if you drop a quality eye, and there is a chance, so like we've got these guys running at 8% quality. If you drop a quality eye, that's not one you can take back. So there is a chance that the last one could actually... Yeah, the last one could run out. Am I okay with the amount of nutrients we've got? Oh, we turned everything off, didn't we? Okay. Turn everything back on. All systems go, probably. That's the switch that makes things work again. But we are still going to be delayed, and then we also need... This... Why is this coming through? Because this we were expecting to be waste, and it is not yet waste. We need to do the same thing here, where, yeah, a very similar thing to something like this, where we just buffer a whole pile of stuff, and then when things are spoilage... Yeah, I keep thinking it's like landfill. It's not like landfill. When things are spoilage, we can pull them out again. But for a while... Do I have any more of these? Yeah, when things are spoilage, we can re-ingest into this belt. We can actually get it through here, can we? Yeah, we can. Where is this Roboport going to move slightly? Yes. Okay, so We've got a pile of jellies doing weird stuff. We've got dudes that don't have nutrients because you needed to see nutrients. And then I guess the other issue is, yeah, when... Okay, we're going to do this trick again, but also the other way. If there are nutrients, we need to... We need the nutrients on the other side of the belt. For example, there. And yeah, giant mess. Agricultural science happening. And not clearing the nutrients off the belt fast enough. This is why I wanted to slow down this machine. Maybe we just do this with a regular assembler. Nutrients from... Oh no, we can't do it with a regular assembler. We can only do... Okay. Yeah, nutrients from... We could get fewer nutrients, but we're just going to go back to the previous plan of slowing it down with quality as much as possible. And then... Yeah, we actually need to do this differently as well, don't we? We need to go... here. And then also... Right, and then still have an overflow. So we are boxing a bunch of stuff. We are not using the power grid because we are not getting the science out. Yeah, you guys have these things. You are still running. I think we would be doing more science if we actually had more pentapods, which is weird. Give me these. And then, yeah, do I have... Maybe we should have a nutrient buffer here as well. That does seem like a good idea. How would we get a nutrient buffer in there? I guess one of these things... this one is going to be kind of useless, isn't it? Because... Yeah, I guess we could have a... Could we figure out how to have a nutrient buffer over here? Maybe. I think we're calling that episode here in this kind of weird... unstable mess of a place. Give me these two eyes, put them over here. We are doing tech. We did get some achievements. We aren't getting... Yeah, this is a concern as well. All these pentapod eyes building up on the belt. We need to get... Maybe we also do a buffer of... Yeah, so I think we need to adjust our buffer strategy somewhat so that we are buffering nutrients in helpful places. Like here... would be a good place to buffer nutrient 2s, not nutrient 2s, bioflux 2s, also known as uncommon bioflux, and then also set the same filter here so that we can have a box of, actually it doesn't matter because we need to take this out as soon as this is spoilage. And then I think we need to do a similar thing, although these guys have got enough nutrient going past that it's kind of fine. And then you are... Why don't you... Spoilage, because this also needs to be spoilage. And now we should have a system that... Why... Like, I can see these guys on the belt. Maybe it was actually spoilage 2. It was spoilage 2. We can have spoilage, okay, of any quality spoilage. And then just get these things out of my inventory. Thanks. And then we don't have pentapod eyes. Yeah, this is still a mess. All of this is kind of buffering. Sure, we are doing science. This is actually kind of running. This is also kind of running. Oh, we didn't put the rocket fuel anywhere, did we? All we did was run the rocket fuel directly into the power grid, so we need to get that online as well. But yeah, agricultural science, success, achievements that we have completed. Good times, apparently.